So this is my speedbow setup for this year, and also my elk setup, and I'll probably be using it for whitetail a little bit as well. It's a PSE Mach 30 with the S2 cams, and I am shooting about 75 pounds, 26-inch draw length, and a 399 grain arrow at 294 feet per second. Alright, so I got my new strings on. Everything's looking good there. Now it's time to set up my D-loop for this. And then also I'll have to put a peep sight in as well. I'm going to go ahead and just get my D-loop somewhat set, but I want to check my timing too. So once I get this D-loop, I'll check my timing, make sure all that's pretty good. And then I'll go ahead and drop a peep in here. One nice thing is I have the exact same bow, so I can kind of just measure off that peep height sight, or I can measure off of that to get my peep height sight, or I can measure off of that to get my peep sight set for height wise. Okay, so you can do this with a level or with just a square. I like to actually do both of them, and I like to make sure that's going to be right where my arrow is going to be at. And I will go ahead and mark this right at 0. So I got a little mark there. Now what I will do is also take the exact arrow I'll be using. And make sure you use the same nock too. That'll just help you for your D-loop width. Alright, so now I just need to make sure I'm level both ways. But the main way is this way. So there I can see that I'm level. Go ahead and get my arrow level on the arrow. I'm going to go ahead and slide my arrow down to that square line. Put my rest up. And make sure I'm still pretty level there. Which that's pretty dang good. And the front is actually a little bit high, so that's telling me I can raise the back. So I'm going to slide it just a little bit. The front's still a hair high. Ooh. Actually really good. So my levels are perfect. Once this comes up, that is exactly perfect. So that stayed. I'm ready to go. Now I'm going to cut a D-loop, and I'll actually do some soft knocks. I just like to use BCY 3D. There's actually some better material now, but this is what I have, so go ahead and make a little knot with that. Then I will cinch this up tight to make sure I'm still good. Go ahead and tie this in. Do the old marker trick on this one. And I'm going to go back through this. And pull the marker out. Then cinch this up. To that. Then pull it nice and tight. Then I'll go ahead and burn those off. Before I remove my knock, I'm going to go ahead and mark that with a Sharpie, just so I know where the top of my arrow is. Alright, so that is set. Go ahead and burn these off. Then just burn them down and in. And make sure they're mushroomed so they won't pop back out. Time for a D-loop. Alright, so I like to use 4.5. I like to pre-do mine. I know they say, some people say not to do it that way. I personally like to, just so that way I know it is not going to pull through on me, and I can try to be a little bit more consistent. Go ahead and flare out that end really good on both ends. Now I like to start at the bottom. I'll go ahead and zoom in here so you can see this a little bit better. Kind of hard with all the black. But so I like to start, you're going to want to be on this side for the bottom and make sure that you do the opposite. So as you go to the upward part, you're going to want to make sure that this finishes on the opposite end is the main thing. But for me, I like to make sure that this is on my side at the bottom. Then you're going to come around on this same side, come down and through. Then you're going to go back around and then come all the way through that loop you just made and connect it again. Sometimes you kind of got to get a little tight at the beginning so you can get this back around, especially if you don't like a super long D-loop. And now you can see this one's on this side and the other one is on the opposite side. Hopefully that showed it okay. And I have my line there right above that. And you want a little bit of room in there, so before you get it really tight, make sure you have adequate room for your knock. Just gonna get it just a little bit tight. Check my arrow again, make sure that I have just a little bit of room in there. Hopefully you can see that, but there's just a little bit. It's not too much and it's not too tight where it cannot move at all. And I just want to make sure that these are on opposite sides of the string. And I'm going to go ahead and cinch that down a little bit. Now I'll cinch it down a little bit more once I figure out timing, and in case if I have to rotate the string a little bit. But for now, try to make sure that these are tight. As tight as can be anyway. Alright. For my D-loop set for that, I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the bow press. Set my peep sight in here. And getting pretty close. Set my peep sight in here, then I'm also going to use a little wedge for my QAD rest. Got my bow in the press here. I went ahead and put the AAE wedge in here for the QAD. Got the MX2 rest on here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and measure my peep height sight, or peep height. I'm going to go ahead and measure that and get that peep put in. All right, so I already have a bow that is pretty much the exact same, so I'm going to follow that as just a rule of thumb to give me an idea of where to set my height. Okay. So I got that marked there. Go ahead and grab my peep sight. It's horizontal. Alright, make sure that I've got it in the groove good. About centered right on it. So that is good. I can go ahead and remove that now. And I can go ahead and take some pressure off of it. You can tell that that is twisting just a little bit. Just try to get that so it's lined up. Alright, so now I got my peep somewhat set in there. I am probably just going to leave that. I'll just draw it back and check my peep height sight, or peep height. But now it's time to check the actual timing and also get my rest timed. We are getting close. It takes a little while to get these set up, but once you get them set up, then hopefully you do not have to do this again. But you really want to make sure that this is twisting with you to get your rests set. Or otherwise it will not set correctly. Have it in here. Hopefully you can see it there, but that bottom is about 1/8 right there, and my top is about to hit, so it's just a smidge off. So my bottom cam's hitting and my top cam still has just a little, it had just a little bit of a gap, so I'm going to go ahead and put in the press and add a twist to the top. So like I said, I need to add, I'm just going to do a half and see if that ends up being about right. So there we go, got a half a twist. Now I will check that again. It's really close though. Go ahead and add one more twist, but looks like my rest is set good. So another half a twist there. Make sure everything's still good in the tracks. Check it out again. So close, but I think another half and we should be about there. I think just the tiniest of gaps there. Get it so it can focus maybe. Just a smidge of a gap. Down there, there's just a smidge of a gap, so that is perfect. Alright, so now you can see that the peep sight's off just a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and twist the bottom of the string to get that a little bit better. And hopefully that wasn't too much. Okay, so now I've got my peep height set. Everything should be good to go. I got a sight mounted on here, so that way I've got something to check. And I've got it set to about 50 yards. That way, as I'm looking, it's about middle of my range. So if I'm dialing, it should be pretty close to where I want it. Okay, that looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and tie that in. Then for the fun part, checking it to see if it's tuned up. And then also going to go ahead and check the speed. Lots of different ways to do this. Not sure if there's probably some that work better than others. So I just want to make sure that that is on a side. Make sure it's in the groove. And I want to make sure that these are about the same distance, which they are. Go ahead and tighten that up. Take my other one, do the exact same thing, but the knot on the other side. I want to make sure that I go around this, so it kind of helps lock it in there. Make sure I got the right one here. Okay, so now I have knots on each side. And I'm going to run it down each side. And that is really solid. So on the bottom, I'm going to go up and through and back through. So these are just half hitches, and I like to pull them in tight. I'll do about 10 of those on each and every single side. So that's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Should probably just end with 8 because that's about right to the bottom of that peep sight, so that's about perfect. Then I will do the opposite. So since the bottom I went up, now on the top I'm going to go down, half hitch, pull that in tight, and do the same thing, down, through, pull that tight, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there we go. Go ahead and clip this one. Do the same with this other side. And now I'll just burn those down. And I will do the exact same thing on the other side. And that thing is locked. Time to shoot through paper now. One nice part about these bows is I can shim my cam to the right fairly easy. I'm going to try that and see if it's too much or not. I think I might be in between, but I want to try that first because it's pretty easy to shim these cams. So I've taken just a little bit of pressure off. Now I'm going to slide this one out. Hopefully I can get it to focus. So that one's pretty thin. I'm going to add the next best one. These need to add up to 220. So I'm going to go to the next thicker one. And try to just slightly move that cam over. To try to clear up that. First you got to make sure you take the other one out. And do the same on top and bottom. And if you look on the back of these, like I said, this is 0.14 and 0.8, so that adds up to 220. So like I said, easy to make sure that you got the right ones by just making sure they're 220. Whoop. Put that one in. and throw this one in. So, and that is it. Just snap them in and boom. That is pretty darn good. And for me, that is about the best speed I've ever gotten besides the PSE full throttle. I think that one might be, or the Omen Pro, the old Omen Pro. Those might be the two fastest bows I've shot besides this one. I've compared it to my old Omen, which I've got over here, and that one and this is not quite as fast, but they're very similar to the same speeds with the S2 cam. So that one has the S2 cam as well. But like I said, this is the custom Mach 30 with the S2 cams, and this thing is shooting bullets. It's really great. So I shot it through paper. I had to move the rest up just a little bit, and they're pretty easy to tune. I had no problems tuning it. It's shooting really good. I'm looking forward to elk season. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you found this to be a fun video and how I build bows, and I'm really looking forward to putting this thing to the test this year, and hopefully I can get elk down and a few whitetail with it. As always, please subscribe to my channel if you found this to be helpful, or you like this video and want to see more videos similar to it or other gear videos. Thanks for watching, stay hidden, and good luck out there.